Well, I'm going to try a little video diary today, first time attempting this. It's Sunday morning, July 5th, and heading up to one of my favorite trails here in the Bukhansan National Park. It's about a 25-30 minute walk from our house here. Pretty densely populated city, northwest Seoul, population 12 million. You can see the endless stream of hikers behind me heading down the road that I'm following, heading towards the trailhead. So, update in about 10 minutes from this location. And here we are 10 minutes later at the trailhead proper right behind me there. The path going up this way up the stairs and going down the stairs there behind me is the circumference course that runs all the way around the circumference of the park. We, however, are going to be going up to our first peak here at about 370 meters, and then 535 meters about 2 hours from now. And at Bibong, which is a memorial stone that was placed by a king back in the Shilla dynasty. This is where I've been coming down back into the valley prior. Today we're going to try to make it all the way to Dae-Nam-mun and come back down that same valley, but we'll see how we feel when I get to Bibong. So anyway, this is the start of the trail, and we'll check back in with you in a few minutes. Yeah, we're about 15 minutes heading up the trail line here. If you look out towards that direction, you can see a big blue top building. That's the Sunil Women's High School. And follow the line of apartment buildings that's just in front of that, about out to there is where our apartment is, down in that cluster of northwest Seoul. And panning around to the south, not a very clear day, but we really are lucky to be living in such a densely populated area that has a beautiful park like this, only a 30-minute walk away. Lots of scrambling over rocks and whatnot in the park, and I'll post more of that a little bit later. But this is about 15 minutes heading up. We'll post an update in a bit. Looking really the last rest spot before the final ascent. Looking back down to the valley again. Quite a drop off there. I'm not going to get too close to that ledge, but beautiful rock formations here in the park, and up that rock face is the final ascent. You can see some people walking up it there. It gets a little technical, but to make the wife feel better, there is a safer route I usually take just to the right of the exposed rock. But pretty busy day up here on the mountain. Hopefully it'll thin out a little bit as I get into some of the less traveled trails. Usually the further you go, the sparser it gets until you get to a main intersection. And I just need to push through those and get past the crowds. Update in a few minutes when I get to the top rock face here. Just to give you an idea of the slope going up. And just so the wife feels better, I do take a much safer route scrambling up the edges of this face, but walked down this face a few times and just trying to get my legs back so I can take the more direct route up that. And there's the next little up we got to do on this trek today. You can see the people making their way. I can't see very well with this sunlight, but up the ridge there, when we get to where the tree line is before that, there's a path around that peak. We're not going to go straight up that face. There's an easier way around the backside to get to the top of that, and we'll hopefully shoot a video from up there in about an hour. We are on the second peak. First peak of 족두리봉, you can see back behind me, looking back down towards Yeonchune and northwest Seoul. Here's all the Gupaba Newtown apartments. Adjacent peak with a bunch of people hiking up over that one. That's looking over into the main park. The tallest mountain in the distance there is Baegundae. Further along the trail we'll be taking is, there's a small peak there to the left. We're going to go up and over. And then that peak there with the rectangular monument on the top is Bibong. We're going to take a path around that at the base. Pass by that, and the ultimate goal was to get to that far peak there in the distance, but I don't think that's going to happen today. I think we're going to repeat what we did yesterday. I usually don't come up this peak, but wanted to today. I'll probably do that in the future. Make some nice resting spot, change out the water here, and we'll probably head down after Bibong. Well, against my better judgment, I pressed on and made it all the way to Daenammun. So here I am standing under the roof of Daenammun. We'll switch the camera back around, and I guess I can't do that while I'm recording. So stop this. There we go. That's looking outside the fortress, down the path we're going to take. And we'll walk around this way. There's Munsubong. I just came. Actually, I came around that peak. Anyhow, we're gonna walk down here just a little bit, and I'll stop this recording until I get down to the bottom. Let's see here. We started. Here's where we started, and we hiked up through here, and here we are at Daenammun. And now we're going to take about an hour down. 1 hour left, and we'll have some lunch. Let's see what the distance is down here that they're linking. This is the south gate of the fortress wall that surrounds the mountain peaks here in the national park. And we have 2.5 kilometers to get down to our destination, probably 3 by the time I get to the bus stop. And here we go. Now I'm about a little over halfway down. I just thought I'd stop here and let you listen for a second.